everyone. We are here with writer, actor James Zimbardi and writer, director Anthony C. Ferrante. How are you, gentlemen?
We're doing great.
Very good. How are you?
Finally being able to get to do this interview. this, um, so, so NIX is finally coming out. And it it's for me, it was a very impressive movie, for sure. And kind of a bit of a departure, but can for Anthony in particular, can you tell us about the film, Anthony?
Well, I'd worked with the. Oh, hold on. My alarm went off. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So remind me so I didn't fall asleep before we talk. Not that I'd fall asleep during the interview, but before. Anyway, so I'd worked with Woodrow, James, and Skylar before. I produced a film with them called Awaken the Shadow Man a few years ago, and they came to me with this project they were developing. It was a slightly different concept, and then COVID hit, and we decided to redevelop it into what was the NIX. And part of the thing was this was an opportunity, I thought, where we have the money. They had the money to produce this thing. So there was no distributor or network or studio going, well, to get those kids, we got to do this. And so I think one of the first things I said to Jay and them was like, let's push this. As long as we have the horror elements and a creature, the horror people and the distributors who pick it up, they're going to be fine. But let's make a movie for ourselves. Let's dig a little deeper. Can we make a movie that is going to defy the expectations of what people think this is going to be? Because I feel like you see the poster, maybe you watch the first 5 minutes, you go, I know exactly how this is going to end. And then you keep watching it and going, I don't know where this is going. And then you have to keep watching, and then you're kind of blindsided with how crazy the movie is and where it ends up. And I think part of that was, we wanted to make a horror movie that had a message, that had a meaning, that dug a little under the surface, and that had some drama, and that had things that people could relate to. And above all, the thing that I think that I'm most proud of is that we have a movie that, despite all the crazy, heinous, horrible stuff that happens in the film to everybody, it's strangely emotional. And there's like 2 or 3 or 4 moments toward the end where it's like, despite everything, it starts tugging at you, and you sort of have empathy and sympathy for some of these characters. So I think that's the biggest hat trick. We made a movie where in a day and age where, Jordan Peele's movies are wonderful because you never know where they're going to go. But for the most part, indie horror, there's usually a template that it follows, and you kind of know where it's going for the most part. There are exceptions to the rules, but I like the fact that I don't think anybody knows where this movie is going.
Yeah, most definitely. I can vouch for that one. James, you star in this, and you also co-wrote.
Yeah.
So can we talk to you about, maybe can you tell us about the creative process that you were a part of, and about your character, Jeff?
Yeah. So we've all worked together in the past, myself, Woodrow, and Skylar. We've written a few things. We've gotten a few things made. Anthony helped us out on the last project. And on this one, like Anthony said, we were like, we got to push it a little bit. We want to do something different. We want to do something that you're not going to expect. And we wanted it to have meaning. So we kind of pulled from all of our lives of, it's a trauma movie. There's deeper meanings behind the movie, and that's what we were going for. And we knew we needed Anthony because, Anthony has great ideas, and he, pushes the limit, and he pushed us definitely while we were making this and while we were writing it, of like, to go kind of outside the box. And I feel like we did that. And I feel like, from screenings that we had, the reactions we got from people was, a lot of like, we weren't expecting that. And they kind of got what we were going for, of the family kind of trauma of like passing it on to other family members. And just like, it's kind of like when people are really in it, they're in it, and it's tough to stop them when they're going through something. So I feel like we did a good job of, portraying that. And for my character, it's just, the weight of the world is on his shoulders. He's trying to keep a family together. He's trying to keep everybody together because he has a mom who's not all there, and a brother who's, everybody's holding on to the past and we kind of can't, move on, and it's really affecting everybody. And Anthony did a great job of, getting us all through that.
I gotta say, without Jay Woodrow and Skylar trusting me, because like I said, this was developed in one direction, and then I go, well, if we really want to do this, we got to do this. And I know that there was some moments where like, you're crazy, but they trusted the process, and we really pushed hard. I mean, it was a real collaboration of trying to find the tone and find the balance in this thing, and the craziness that I proposed originally to this, that they trusted to let me try to pull it off as a director, because there's a lot of weird stuff in here that I think even when we were shooting, everybody was like, Anthony's insane, but we're going to trust him, but he's insane. Right, Jay? I mean, were there a couple moments where you just like,
there was a lot of moments where, me and Dee were looking at each other and we were just like, I don't know what's going on, but the good thing is we just fully committed to whatever it was. We didn't, we kind of didn't question anything to him. We just did it. And I think it shows on screen. But yes, definitely some crazy ideas and crazy, things he was saying where, we were in the, freezing snow, sleet. We were just all like, looking at each other like, what the hell? But it worked out,
You mentioned Dee Wallace and working with her. How did she come on board, and what was it like working with, a legend like that?
Well, Anthony got Dee on board, but for me working with her, she was really incredible because she really goes for it. She doesn't hold back. She is all in 100%. And if she's doing something, she's doing it. She's not half-assing it. And I think that once everybody on the set saw that, they were all like, everybody kind of upped their game of like, now we've all got to kind of, be on board for this. So she definitely elevated things, and, and I think everybody picked up from stuff that she did. But as for her coming on board, that's all Anthony.
Well, I mean, I'd worked with Dee twice before this. My first movie, Boo, she was kind of my good luck charm on that, and then Hansel and Gretel. And when I was writing the updated, when we were reconfiguring the script, I kept thinking Dee, even though I didn't know if we could get her. And then when it came down to casting, and we all agreed, the movie falls apart if you don't have a great actress. And I knew Dee, will do things if it's an interesting part, and she did us a solid to come in and do this movie, because she didn't want to wear makeup or anything in this thing. She just wanted to go for it and embody this crazy character. And testament to her. And at the Downtown LA Film Festival, she won Best Actress for NIX. So I mean, we kind of saw on set, it was like the birthday party scene. After that scene was over, after we shot it, my jaw was just like hanging, like, what the hell did we just do? This is amazing. I mean, she was so good. And I think she probably terrified Skylar and Jay a little bit too, because she was in your face. And it's just like, you just didn't know what she's going to do next. That little beat at the end where Jay, it's a wide shot looking at them, and Jay's about to go into her, and she goes, "No!" I mean, that was not scripted. That was just Dee being Dee, and it's real. And Jay was in it, and I loved how you guys reacted off of her.
What was it? Was it difficult to push her to those places, or push the cast to those places, or?
I think Dee pushed us, honestly. I mean, there's that scene in the upstairs and toward the end of the film, and she's going, "I want to do this," and I was like, "Really, Dee?" "Yeah, I want to do this." I'm like, one, it actually made me feel uncomfortable. Like, okay, are you sure? And then I started thinking about it, going, let's go for it, because if she wants to push herself to that point, then that's what feels right for her, and then that means that it's probably right for the movie, because she knows this character inside and out. And we shot it, and I basically did it in multiple versions, and then I ended up kind of combining all the different takes into what you see in the movie, and it just works. It's so ethereal and strange, and it's like being in the mind of someone who's mad, and it was fantastic working with her on that. I mean, it really, she pushed us. Yeah, you say the same thing, right, Jay?
Absolutely, yeah. she was not shy to do anything. And she was like, if I got to do this, I'm going to do this. And, certain things in the movie where you see what she's doing, she really goes for it.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it helped everybody be like, okay, if she's doing this, then we all got to kind of go all out.
She got on the ground, like the last night of shooting, she got down on the freezing snow in the middle of the woods at night for the last shot. I mean, she was game for it all. And that's,
I love that. I
that's
love hearing that.
crazy.
Yeah.
But again, you feed off of that when you're making movies, and when you have actors like Jay and Skylar and Nisha, who plays Zoe, and Angie, and Dee and Michael Pare, you feed off of that, and they really bring a lot to the table. And what your job as a director is to try to make sure that you pull it all together, and there's consistency, and there's honesty, and there's a realness to it. And one of the most interesting scenes in the movie is with Jay and his dad. And when we were shooting it, we felt the emotion, and I was like, wow, I felt that. I knew the scene with Angela Cole when she's asking Zoe to tie off her tourniquet. That I knew that was going to be disturbing, but I didn't recognize how powerful that scene with Jay and the dad was going to be until we were out there. And sometimes you see the stuff in post with scenes, like there's a couple scenes that came off even better once you cut it all together. You're going, oh wow, this works. But out there, we really knew that, and I think that scene meant a lot to Jay too, with Michael Dvorak.
Uh-huh. And
Right,
Michael's cool too.
He was great.
To watch. Anthony, you're known for the Sharknado films. They're pushing that in the promotion of NIX, but again, like I brought up before, this is a departure from what people might know you for. So, I mean, can you tell us can you tell people how different this film is from, say, the basic Sharknado movie?
Well, I mean, I started off in horror, so Boo was definitely mostly serious horror movie. And I think after doing 6 Sharknado movies, people forgot that I was a horror guy, and I enjoyed the idea that I could push something that was different. And that was also one of the joys of working with Jay and Skylar and Woodrow, is that I go, look, I want to make a comedy, I want to make a serious drama, I want to do an indie drama with horror. I've kind of called it like Videodrome meets Ordinary People. And obviously the Sharknado movie's name sells the film, but John Landis was known for Animal House, and he went on and did American Werewolf, which had comedy, but it was still a horror film, and they sold it that way, that this is a horror film from the director of it. So I mean, we all, you want to use the thing that sells the movie. So if this is just a movie that doesn't have any kind of anchor to it, it might get lost a little. But you say the director Sharknado, it's going to at least intrigue people, and the trailer is clear that this is a serious film. So I think it's a testament to having something that everybody knows, and that that you put out there, and then you do this movie and you're saying it's something a little bit different, a little bit of water to it. Maybe it's like it has another water creature, but it's not Sharknado at all. And I think that's going to be the biggest surprise that people find out when they watch this film, is that it is layered, it's dark, and it has really great acting in it, and it takes you on a journey.
Well, it's nothing. It's nothing really. Well, how can people see the film?
So it's going to be in select theaters. It was in New York, Florida. It's going to be in my hometown, New Haven, Connecticut, starting Thursday. But it's going to be everywhere tomorrow, on demand, in demand, Amazon, iTunes, anywhere you can get a movie. It's going to be available tomorrow, Tuesday, 27th, I believe.
Excellent.
Yes.
And James, Anthony, thank you so much for talking to me today. It's great to see you again. And
thank you. We appreciate it.
Best of luck on this release. Please, everybody, see it, because it's definitely worth the time. And Dee Wallace is going to knock your socks off, I swear. So, again, gentlemen, thank you for everything, and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care.
Appreciate it.